This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com. Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today's 328.22, show number 377. Nick, we see oil selling off this morning.
Yeah, we have a really big sell-off in crude today, and the news behind it is really that Shanghai is closed down because of the COVID outbreak over there. So that seems to be the news. I'm not so sure I'm buying into that one, but either way, that's what we're being told here because Shanghai has closed down for a few days. That is causing the sell-off in oil. My guess is that there could be something more coming out about Ukraine and Russia. I really think at this stage of the game, these guys have to think this is getting so serious. They got to come up with some kind of resolution before this escalates into something much bigger.
Well, it was interesting because when the war started, Putin just said he wanted to take this province and that province and annex Crimea. And then it turned into like a major battle for the entire country. Thought he was going to march into Kiev and just put in a puppet regime. In a week, everything would be fine and the world would forget about it. Sounds like he made a little misjudgment there.
Yeah, I don't know if he did or he didn't or what the objective is. But what I did notice is that, when the media is telling us one thing, I got to look the other way and start looking the other, for something else. Overall, this is not good for anybody. I can't see it being good for either country, and it's definitely not good for any of the Americans here or for our American soldiers. So I would love to see this thing go away. But as a trader, you start to watch different correlations that take place in the market. And, crude oil, as well as gold and other commodities, have been very, very strong. Agriculture, obviously, due to this war. But today, we're not getting a sell-off in oil that it looks like, there's a lockdown in China for a few days. This looks to be something more. So hopefully this can resolve this war and we'll go on with our lives here.
Yeah, well, hopefully it'll happen soon. I don't think it's in anyone's interest, but the way the markets have been sinking, maybe it isn't going to happen so fast. What's happening in the market today?
Well, honestly, Kerry, the markets have actually held up really well. You have the S&P 500 sitting at around, as we speak now, sitting around 45.40. So, the markets have had a very, very good run. They put in that low basically in early February, and they've been rallying up. Now, everybody is looking for the markets to turn down right now, and this is why you have to be, kind of a contrarian because, yeah, they may turn down. Maybe something does occur. There's a lot of resistance in play here, but they've actually held up very, very well over the past 10 days. In fact, the S&P 500 was below 4,200. Now it sits at 45.40. So, markets actually have hung in there pretty well. So I do think there's a lot of resistance in play. We'll be watching the pattern closely. But today, you have the S&P basically up a touch. And when I say a touch, I'm talking about, 0.1%. And you have the Dow down 128 points. The Nasdaq's up about 0.6%, which is acting much, much better. So, the markets have hung in there fairly well, despite, this war going on.
Yeah, well, the question is this just a dead cat bounce, and is the market still headed lower, or is it the beginning of a new rally?
Well, we've been rallying, really. You could make a case ever since, you put a low in on the 24th of February, but you could make a case ever since the 14th of March, the markets have gone parabolic. So they need to do some backing and filling either way around this level. But the pattern will tell us if it's going to be the next leg up or if it's going to be the next leg down. So you have to stay tuned for that one. Hard to say at the moment, but we are due for some minor pullbacks or some sideways consolidation before the markets could even advance much further.
Well, we used to call things like this potentially a sucker rally, right?
Yeah, it was a dead cat bounce, a sucker's rally. We call it a bull trap, right? So a lot of names out here. But you got to remember, if you do get rid of this war, this relief rally can last a bit longer.
All right. Well, I guess we're just going to have to sit back and see. As we know, gold down today, $17 an ounce on the futures.
Yep, gold is down about 17 right now, sitting at around 1936 an ounce. And gold has been what we call the ultimate fear play. So people want to be in gold more than anything if there's a big escalation going on, and God forbid this war turns into a World War III or something on the global scale. I think gold has proven itself now that it is the basically the safe haven type play. It's the ultimate fear trade, and traders want to be in there. But right now, if you get any resolution, I do think we're going to probably see a pretty sharp pullback or even a major sell-off in gold. And if the war continues, and there's no signs to say that it won't yet, gold I don't think goes down all that much right now.
All right. What about cryptos here? I mean, I'm looking at Bitcoin 47.7.
Yeah, crypto just did a major move here. This is a big day today because it's up about 6-7%, and it got above that 46,000 level, which is, in my opinion, a very, very big daily chart resistance level. So what you want to see now, if you're bullish for crypto, is you want to see a close above this level on a weekly chart basis, not a daily chart basis, because anything can pop for one day. But you want to see it on a close on a weekly chart basis. And this is a big positive for crypto. Next big resistance level will probably be somewhere around 52,000 on the futures chart. But crypto's having a very good day. I did not think we would see this. I did not think it would get above that 200-day moving average. But today it is above the 200-day moving average. It's also above its 100-day moving average. And that's a very positive sign, but it's only one day. You need to see a weekly close up here.
And we're seeing Ethereum also move even further ahead than Bitcoin.
Yeah, Ethereum's up, I believe, about almost 7% today. So, again, they're all acting well. They're all up about 5 to 6%. So they're all acting well. Ethereum, I believe, is the strongest of all of those major crypto type names.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at a chart here. Ethereum's 200-day moving average, it just broke through it, which was 32.49. It's now at 33.90. So when we see multiple cryptos break through these averages, what can we glean from this, Nick?
Well, anytime you get through a major moving average, especially if the moving average is going to be really, really strong resistance, in this case, it does look like it is. That's a bullish indication. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of pressure to get through a major moving average. But just like I said with Bitcoin, I would really wait until you get into a weekly chart close before getting too excited. But it's definitely a positive move today, and I think that everybody should keep an eye on it, because when you get through a major MA like this, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of power to do that. And it looks like that's exactly what was done.
All right. So in the case of Ethereum, it's broken its 5, 20, 50, and 200-day moving averages, but not its 100-day moving average. But it's going to shortly, because it appears, 33.90 to 34.17. But when you see it break all these averages but one, what can you tell from that?
Well, when I see it do that, you just got to give the equity it's due, and you got to say that's a sign of strength. That's a positive move, and you don't read more into it than that. Anytime you get through a major resistance point, just go to the chart and find the next big pivot or the next big area of resistance, and that's usually where it wants to go. And in this case, it's higher.
All right. Well, I guess we can learn something from this about trading, about even when you think something's going to happen, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. So you need to keep an open mind, and you should go over to inthemoneystocks.com. That's Nick's site, and see how he has beaten the averages for decades. The Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, at Kerry Lutz. Your emails are always welcome at KL@KerryLutz.com. Nick, we will talk to you on Wednesday.
Sounds good, Kerry.